Hey BookTube, it's Peg. I am back at the History Shelf yet again for some more book reveals. I've gotten a bunch of stuff in the mail over the past week or so, and it's quite a stack, let me tell you. I'm very anxious. I've cleared off some spots on my bookshelves for these, and so I need to do this video so I can get these out of here and where they belong on my bookshelves. So let me just dive right in. Let's just get to the good stuff, shall we? This book has been on my list of the books that I've been wanting to get for a long time. And I had a $25 gift card from Barnes & Noble, so I decided to use it on this book. And this is What They Saw in America. Alexis de Tocqueville, Max Weber, G.K. Chesterton, and Said Qutb by James L. Nolan Jr. This is by Cambridge University Press. Let me give you just read you a little bit here. Grounded in the stories of their actual visits, What They Saw in America takes the reader into the journeys of four distinguished yet very different foreign visitors. Alexis de Tocqueville, Max Weber, G.K. Chesterton, and Said Qutb, who traveled to the United States between 1830 and 1950. The comparative insights of these important outside observers from both Europe and the Middle East encourage sober reflection on a number of features of American culture that have persisted over time: individualism and conformism, the unique relationship between religion and capitalism, indifference toward nature, voluntarism, attitudes towards race, and imperialistic tendencies. Listening to these travelers' views, both the ambivalent and even the more unequivocal, can help Americans better understand themselves, more fully empathize with the values of other cultures, and more deeply comprehend how the United States is perceived from the outside. So, I've had this book in my cart for so long, and it's been on my radar for a long time. I'm trying to remember where I first heard of this book. I think it might have been when I was I think I might have been reading about Middle Eastern history or current events as far as issues relating to the growth of the Muslim Brotherhood. And for sure, I was reading a lot about Said Qutb at the time. And I think one of the books that I was reading might have mentioned this book in the footnotes, and I think that's how I heard about it. So then I was really intrigued by having all four views of, the perspective of outsiders about America. So I've always been intrigued, and it was interesting also about Said Qutb is that when he was in America, it was in Colorado, and not very far from where I am. I think it was Loveland, of all places, or Littleton, where he had ended up, and he was just, he grew very disillusioned, or he just was very not very much against what he saw in America, and it was like, oh, it's right down the street from where I am. But anyway, I thought this would be a very intriguing read, and again, I've had it on my list for so long that I can't even tell you where I first heard of it. But anyway, and then I got a few books. Let me show you the books that I personally ordered first. And then I'll show you some books that came in the mail from reviews from publishers. So this book I heard about on Steve's channel, and I found the hardcover of it, and I bought it used, I think on Amazon, but kind of dark. But he really raved about the nonfiction writing in this book, the reporting of it, and I know the basics of the story, but not all of it. So I decided to get One of Us: The Story of Anders Breivik and the Massacre in Norway. It's by Osni Seierstad. Oh, author of The Bookseller of Kabul. I think I read that one. I think I did. So if you saw that book, it was mentioned on Steve's channel, but if not, I'll just, it. Let me see here. So, in case you don't know, on July 22nd, 2011, Anders Behring Breivik detonated a bomb outside the Norwegian Prime Minister's office in central Oslo, killing 8 people. He then proceeded to a youth camp on the wooded island of Utoya, where he killed 69 more. most of them teenage members of the country's governing Labor Party. In One of Us, the journalist Osni Seierstad tells the story of this terrible day and its reverberations. How did Breivik, a gifted child from an affluent neighborhood in Oslo, become Europe's most reviled terrorist? How did he accomplish an astonishing one-man murder spree? And how did a famously peaceful and prosperous country cope with the slaughter of so many of its young? The numbers are just appalling. I have forgotten there was so many. That's why I just kind of paused. This is going to be, I don't know when I'm going to be ready to read this. But anyway, it's supposed to be a really a brilliantly written book on a very dark subject, and how this came to pass. So I thought I'd get it. I picked it up. I found a used like new copy. This was put out by Farrar, Straus and Giroux. So, and there's our author. That's me, Osna. Yeah, so this looks like a pretty substantial read. How much did I pay for this? Oh, I got this for very good. It wasn't like new, but it was $2.89. The book itself was $2.89, so with shipping it was $7. And I like hard copy, so I mean a hardcover. I like hardcovers. So I thought I would get this one. This is the dangers of watching, other booktube channels, is that I get new ideas for more books to get. Stop it, all of you people. Okay. What else did I get? Oh yeah. Oh, it's upstairs. Darn it. Okay, let me just show you this one. I finished reading this book by Catherine Curzon on Sophia, the Electress of Hanover. She could have almost become the Queen of England or Britain. And she was the mother of King George I, and it was such a delightfully fun little history, and I loved it. And I immediately sought out this writer's other books, and I found this on Amazon for like $11. And this is Life in the Georgian Court by Catherine Curzon. So again, this is pen and sword. I was just that book just made me want to read more of her work. She was just so funny. I was laughing out loud in many places in that book on Sophia. And I'm always checking the bargain book sites, and I checked her name on Hamilton Book to see if they had anything else by her, and they didn't. That was about a week ago. So then I ordered the book on Amazon for $11, thinking, oh, it's not going to get much cheaper for a hardcover. I was just looking at hamiltonbook.com today. If you guys are interested in this at all, and I highly recommend you read this writer. She's she's a very fun, if you want history written with some wit, you check out Catherine Curzon. This is available right now on Hamilton Book for $3.95. So they just added it, I guess, and I had just missed it. So I ended up paying more, but $3.95 on hamiltonbook.com, you guys. This is a breathless, readable romp through the courts of 18th century Europe. Who doesn't love that? Learn of the scandals, tragedy, and romance that shaped the Georgian court. Follow royal icons such as Marie Antoinette from childhood to the grave, and learn what really went on behind the scenes of the marriage market. Peek behind the portraits and into the houses of Habsburg, Hanover, Romanov, and more. Oh yeah, I got the Romanovs in here too. Find out which prince spent his childhood behind bars, which empress turned purple, and what happened when a royal bridegroom turned up drunk at the altar. Now, doesn't that just sound like fun? Sometimes when you need to take a break from something as really heavy as this is some good history right here. Good fun history, and it's a light, like 167 pages. And I can testify to her writing style from the book on Sophia that I just finished reading, that I know this is going to be a lot of fun. So that's another book I picked up recently. Okay, and the rest are things that I have received. And I just want to say thank you to all those folks out there who were, I don't believe this one was sent to me. I did not request. I don't believe I did. I don't think I did. But I think I have seen it elsewhere. But this is from Other Press, and this is straight from the horse's mouth. There you go, by Miriam Alaoui. And this is one of Arablet's 10 recommended books from 2020. This is a, I don't know if it's a debut or not, but it's translated by Emma Ramadan. Okay, so it's work translation. It is a debut novel. Okay. Moroccan female novelist Miriam Alaoui emerges with a breakthrough English language debut in Straight from the Horse's Mouth. Once a nominee for the Goncourt and already garnering international acclaim, the book employs Alaoui's wit to cast daily life on the margins of Casablanca into sharp focus. I'll get that on there. It's a really evocative cover. Told in diaristic dispatches from the perspective of Jamia, a vivacious 30-something sex worker and mother, this unique novel illuminates an underbelly of Morocco few are privy to. In a blue-collar neighborhood, Jamia works the street to earn money for herself, her young daughter, and the husband who left them. Resourceful and vibrant, she holds her own against the men who frequent her apartment. Concealing her true profession from her conservative mother, who is of the belief Jamia supports herself by cleaning houses, she patches together her survival one day at a time. When an aspiring director named Chadlia, nicknamed Horsemouth by Jamia, arrives in town to research a film project, Jamia agrees to share the realities of her life as a sex worker. But this agreement shifts the direction of her life irrevocably when Chadlia casts her in the lead role. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. It's got tons of blurbs by Publishers Weekly, Circus, Lyra, La Pointe. Very interesting. So this is Straight from the Horse's Mouth by Other Press, by Miriam Alaoui, published by Other Press. Oh, cool. And then for all you historical fiction fans, especially of a royalty bent. Yeah. I was asked if I would take a look at this. So this book was sent to me from HarperCollins. This is A Most English Princess, a novel of Queen Victoria's daughter by Claire McHugh. And this is a debut novel by Claire McHugh. This is her first novel. I'll read it to you. To the world she was Princess Victoria, daughter of a queen, wife of an emperor, and mother of Kaiser Wilhelm. Her family called her Vicky. Smart, energetic, and self-assured, she changed the course of history. Young Vicky imagines she'll inherit the throne of England. Why not? She's the eldest child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, and her little brother Bertie is sweet but lazy. She'll make a far better heir. When her father tells her that males will always take precedence, the precocious princess sets her sights on marrying a powerful prince who will also be the love of her life. January 1858. Vicky glides down the aisle of St. James Chapel into the waiting arms of her beloved, Prince Friedrich, heir to the Kingdom of Prussia. Vicky is determined they will lead by example, just as her parents had done, while bringing about a liberal, united Germany. Okay, then it goes on here. So the handsome Fritz is always by her side as they navigate court intrigue and challenge the cunning Chancellor Otto von Bismarck while fighting for principle and the soul of a nation. At home they endure tragedy, including their son Wilhelm, rejecting all they stand for. This is the dramatic story of an indomitable English princess, undoubtedly royal and completely human from her younger years as the apple of her father's eyes, through her rise to power to the final months of her life. A most English princess. It's a very nice cover too. It's William Morrow, but I think Harper's. Yeah, William Morrow, imprint of HarperCollins Publishing. So Claire McHugh, this is our debut author on the back there. She's got a degree from Harvard in European history, and she's reviewed many books for the Wall Street Journal and the Baltimore Sun. This is her first novel. That's fabulous. So this will make a really good historical fiction read. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Moving it back into like history, military history. Another book I've got here from Casemate Publishing, but the imprint is Pen and Sword Military. Glad Martine's not around. She can't stand it when I hold up Hitler books. You know, I have a sub-minor or a minor in murderous dictator, totalitarian psychopaths. I don't know why. Okay, but this is Guarding Hitler, The Secret World of the Fuhrer by Mark Felton. Slim little volume, but it looked intriguing to me. Based on intelligence documents, personal testimonies, memoirs, and official histories, including material only declassified in 2010, Guarding Hitler provides the reader with a fascinating window into the secret world of the Fuhrer's personal security at home, at work, and while traveling. The book focuses in particular on Hitler's official and private life during the latter part of the war, at the Wolf's Lair at Rastenburg, and his retreat at Berchtesgaden, the Burghof. The author provides fresh insights into the Nazi leader's life and routine, and fascinatingly, the often indiscreet opinions, observations, activities, and relationships between the chosen circle of the top Nazis, the little people, in quotes, who surrounded him, but whose stories have been overshadowed by the great affairs of state. Also covered, sorry, it's covering up the microphone. Also covered are the plots against Hitler's life, other security breaches, use of doubles, and many more. Little has been written about the security and domestic life of Adolf Hitler. Well, I wouldn't say, I think domestic life, I think a fair bit has been said about that, hasn't it? And thanks to painstaking research, Guarding Hitler allows the reader to delve deeper into this intriguing aspect of the life of this most infamous dictator. And Mark Felton, and I'm pretty sure I follow him on Twitter, and I think I have. He sounds very familiar. He is a much published author and leading authority on Nazi and Japanese oppression. After a long spell teaching in universities in Shanghai, Mark has ventured to the UK and he lives in Norwich. Okay, so this is a brand new release. This just came out. I should say all of these. Well, not all of these. The last two books I just showed, these are brand new releases. A Most English Princess. Obviously, it's a debut novel, and it's straight from the horse's mouth. Okay. So we have Guarding Hitler. And we have some photos in here that maybe I haven't seen, but I'm sure I've seen most. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm going to, take a look at this, and I'll tell you if, we've got some new insights here into the security. It might be interesting, like it says, that it kind of looks at the, it's going to like hone in on the little people that surrounded Hitler. So it's not just all about Hitler. I guess it's about what was going on amongst the top circle of people around him. So we'll see. So that looks great. So this is a new release that just came out, and this is from Custom House. I don't know why exactly I'm going to read this, because it's going to just infuriate me or make me lose faith in humanity. I don't know. But I did chat with this author on Twitter a few times, and he assures me that there's some levity in this book, so it's not all like, please don't be scared by it, just check it out. This is a brand new release. This just came out. This is Liar's Circus. A strange and terrifying journey into the upside-down world of Trump's MAGA rallies. This kind of goes in with the book I showed the other day about Gustave Le Bon's books, The Crowd, and crowd psychology. And so I might have to read this with Gustave Le Bon in my other hand to try to understand. Well, I could basically just underline things that I'm reading in the Le Bon study of crowd mentality, and the psychology of mobs and masses, and I could relate it to this, and at the same time I could relate it to Antifa as well. So don't think that I'm like, you know, picking one side over the other when it comes to far left and far right. They're two sides of the same coin, in my opinion. So that's where I stand on that. But anyway, this guy here, Karl Hoffman, he made a, how long did he spend? He basically just immersed himself in these rallies. He attended them and interviewed people who were there. Let me just tell you, in this daring work of immersive journalism, based on hundreds of hours of reporting, Karl Hoffman journeys deep inside Donald Trump's rallies, seeking to understand the strange and powerful tribe that forms the president's base. Hoffman, who has written about the most dangerous and remote corners of the world, pierced this alternate society, welcomed in and initiated into its rites and upside-down beliefs, and finally ushered to its inner sanctum. Equally freewheeling and profound, Liar's Circus tracks the MAGA faithful across 5,000 miles of the American heartland during a crucial arc of the Trump presidency, stretching from the impeachment saga to the dawn of the coronavirus pandemic that paused the rallies for months. Trump's rallies are a singular and defining force in American history, a kind of Rosetta Stone to understanding the age of Trump. Yet while much remarked upon, they are in fact little examined, with the focus almost always on Trump's latest outrageous statement. But who are the tens of thousands of people who fill these arenas? What do they see in Trump? And what curious alchemy between president and adoring crowd happens there that might explain Trump's rise and powerful hold over both his base and the GOP? For those on the left, the rallies are a black mass of American politics at which Trump plays high priest, recklessly summoning the darkest forces within the nation. To the MAGA faithful, the rallies are a form of pilgrimage, a joyous ceremony that, like all rituals, binds people together. To date, no reporter has sought to understand the rallies as a sociological phenomenon examined from the bottom up, which that's the part that intrigues me. Again, I'm into the sociological, psychological, you know, like I said, I was showing you that book the other day by Le Bon. This is the part that really intrigues me, just on a human level. Hoffman has done just this. He has stood in line for more than 170 hours with Trump's most ardent superfans and joined them at the very front row. He has traveled from Minnesota to Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and New Hampshire, immersing himself in their culture. The Liar's Circus is a revelatory portrait of Trump's America from one of our most intrepid journalists. And there's our author reporting on scene. So yeah, I got this from Custom House. Thank you. I am looking forward to reading it and reporting back. Normally I don't read a lot of political books as far as current event political books. I mean, I did read I did read Mary Trump's book. I didn't show it on this channel just because, you know, I know it's just, these are sensitive topics, and I'm not here to get into political debates with anyone. I think, you know, it's kind of obvious from where I stand, you know, where I sit on things, but I'm not here to denigrate anyone's opinion. All I can say is, you know, if people think that I prefer a left over the right or the right over the left, it's like you're not listening closely enough to my videos. I believe in truth. And I believe in calling things as I see them and as the facts and the truth, you know, present themselves. So I can tell you right now, I'm not a fan of far left. Nope. Not a fan of the far right. Nope. I think one of the things, the tragedies this country has endured over the last century is that we have lost an ability to cleave towards the center. And there's a reason why when they say the center holds, you know, you need to have a center. You just do. Okay. I don't like rabid ideologues. I don't like people with just fanaticism. It turns me completely off. You need to be able to cleave towards the truth, and you have to be courageous enough to know the things you hold dear might not be right, and the courage to say that and to change your thought or to change your way of thinking. That's true courage. I don't know. I'm kind of on a little soapbox today because I expect to have some thumbs downs because I showed this book or I talked about it, but whatever. Again, if you guys have ever really watched my videos, you know that I'm a fairly, I'm a well-balanced person. You should read what you agree with, but you should also read, even more importantly, you need to read what you don't agree with. So, you got to have a little bit of everything. Center holds. All right. And again, the wonderful people at Casemate Publishers sent me a book that I was not expecting. Thank you, Daniel, at Casemate Publishing. This is a brand new book. This is called Baker Bandits, Korea's Band of Brothers, by Emmett Shelton Jr., edited by Cynthia Shelton. So this is about the B-15 Marine Corps. All right. Oh, yeah, B-15 Marines, the Baker Bandits. Oh, we're on the front line from the beginning to the end of the Korean War. Busan, Incheon, Chosin, guerrilla hunts, the many hills, and the battles at Reno, Vegas, and Carson. About 40,000 men died and most of the rest were wounded. Over half the Marines were reservists. In the first year, every commanding officer of B-15 except Ike Fenton was killed or evacuated due to severe wounds while leading troops into battle. Korea's Band of Brothers was forged by the 1st Division Marines 1950 to 1953. The tougher the battle, equipment, and weather, the more they pulled together. Their commitment to each other was legendary. General Charles Cooper was B-15 commanding officer in the spring of 1951 until he was wounded. When he rose to commandant of the 1st Division in the 1970s, he reflected on his time with the Baker Bandits in Korea and penned the Band of Brothers leadership principles, encouraging their use at all levels of the 1st Division. Emmett Shelton Jr. was a rifleman in the Baker Bandits fighting at Chosin. In 1985, he attended a Chosin Few reunion and it changed his life. The healing power of reconnecting with his Marine brothers was strong. Emmett began publishing a monthly newsletter, The Guidon, to reconnect the B-15. For 2 decades, Emmett published the stories and photos of his comrades. From the archives of The Guidon, Baker Bandits, this book right here, brings together their most haunting memories of the Korean War, the photos they snapped between battles, the maps they carried, and the memories that lasted. That's fascinating. Oh, great! This is going to be fabulous. So this all comes from. This is put together from an old newsletter, The Guidon. This is all by the guys who were there, so that is fantastic. Korean War is also one of the other wars I'm very interested in. People call it the Forgotten War. But our Marines there, they went through some hell, let me tell you what. That's a war more of us should know about. So this is Baker Bandits, Korea's Band of Brothers. By Emmett Shelton Jr. So it's brand new. I noticed this was also highlighted in my history book club. So a lot of the books that comes from Casemate or published by Casemate or their imprints like Pen and Sword, they are picked up by history book clubs. They're a fairly well-known publisher, and they get around. So that's Baker Bandits. And speaking of Korean War, I'm so excited for this book. This is put out by Public Affairs Books. And as soon as I saw that this was coming, I was like, I need to read this and get on this book. So this is brand new release. This is Ghost Flames. Life and Death in a Hidden War, Korea, 1950 to 1953, by Charles J. Hanley. All right, I'm just checking on the animals real quick. So what I liked about this book is that it's going to be more of a personal, an intimate read about the war coming from people who experienced it. So it's not like an overarching 50,000 foot view. It really takes you on the ground to people, you know, their diary entries or letters, or people who were experiencing it. And those types of books really resonate with me. I tend to really want to read those type of books about war more than anything else. The war that broke out in Korea on a Sunday morning 70 years ago has come to be recognized as a critical turning point in modern history. As the first great clash of arms of the Cold War, the last conflict between superpowers, the root of a nuclear crisis that grips the world to this day. In this vivid, emotionally compelling, and highly original account, Charles J. Hanley tells the story of the Korean War through the eyes of 20 individuals who lived through it. From a North Korean refugee girl to an American nun, a Chinese general to a black American prisoner of war, a British journalist to a U.S. Marine hero. This is an intimate, deeper kind of history, whose meticulous research and rich detail, drawing on recently unearthed materials and eyewitness accounts, bring the true face of the Korean War and the vastness of its human tragedy into a sharper focus than ever before. The forgotten war becomes unforgettable. Fabulous. Fabulous. And there's our author. Let's give you a closer look at that. So, like I said, it's a story with real people, real experiences, new materials that, you know, reveal the experiences of these people in war. And again, this is the type of book that really I think I'm attracted to these type of stories because it makes you just remember how tied together humanity really is. Doesn't matter what, you know, what country, what race, what ethnicity, you know, we all suffer the same. And these type of books, you know, bring it out, and you just, you know, you have that wonderful human capacity for empathy, which I wish we would exercise more in our world. But anyway, we're at 33 minutes, and so I'm going to stop right now. I've got quite a haul here. I do have some, you know, more videos coming. I had two recent book hauls from bookoutlet.com that I have not shown you yet. I guess I'm just stocking up for the winter. But like I said, I'm going to be slowing down tremendously after these most recent hauls. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of these books. I hope you're having a great Friday. And it's what was it? Friday evening here, early evening, and I like how the days seem to be, well, they were long. I guess they're getting shorter. It's a beautiful day here. The snow is gone, and it's like 70 degrees. So again, it's Colorado for you. Okay, guys, well, just thank you for all the wonderful comments you guys have been peppering me with lately. You guys are so much fun. I just love, I love this channel's viewers. You guys have become like friends without, not friends without faces. Like, so a lot of you, I don't know who you look like. But, you know, I recognize your names when you comment, and I just, you know, I get, oh, that was so nice, or I love hearing from you guys and chatting with you. And just thanks for commenting, thanks for subscribing, and we'll just keep the fun rolling. I hope you guys are reading some good stuff. I know I've got a ton of things here to go put on the shelf, so I'm about to do that. And until next time, guys, here's another 30-minute video for you. I'll talk to you soon, BookTube. Bye.